spirit where everybody has a chance to be heard, and that means you.
The media said, so what do you think about these steelworkers and Teamsters and turtles and dolphins getting together and protesting? And I said, it's long overdue.
Well, I think that this is the first time that labor, environmental justice people have come together around one mission.
A lot of the environmental groups are mostly white and have not been inclusive of people of color. And we have challenged them. We've come to participate, but also to challenge them.
Youth of color is not necessarily being represented in a lot of even activist organizations at times. I think the surroundings is a good example, and that's why we came from the Bay Area to basically bring minorities, youth minorities, to come and show that as minorities we do make a difference, we do have a voice, and that we are political and that we do have political views, you know, and that we are educated.
We're gonna beat back the corporate rule. We're gonna beat back. We're gonna beat back.
We shall win if we are united. But we must defeat racism that keeps us separate and apart as people of color, that we're often excluded in this society. We have to defeat the disunity of the working class.
I definitely think that protest is an effective means of social change. I also think that property damage is an effective means of social change. I think that singing in the streets isn't doing much, but I've seen people breaking windows and spray painting, and I think that that has been an effective way to call the corporation's attention. They're not threatened by people out here in the streets singing and dancing like they did in the 60s. That didn't change anything in the 60s, and it's not going to change anything now. But I think when they see people out here and feel that their property and their money and their power is threatened, they're going to listen up.
What they're trying to patent through the TRIPS agreement is the biological resources. And those biological resources lie in the third world. And each time they take a patent, somewhere or the other they're having to steal either our knowledge or our biological material. And that means dispossess the poorest people whose only wealth is their biodiversity. Their only wealth is the fact that they can have seed, sow it, and eat next year's harvest. Their only medicine is that they can collect medicinal plants and heal themselves. So yes, the patent regime is a sure way to steal from the poor and dispossess them and impoverish them even further.
Well, they're trying to get all the nation's food standards homogenized into one international standard that comes from Codex Alimentarius, which is an outfit in Rome that's dominated by corporate food companies. So it's a way of harmonizing all food standards downward and leaving consumers unprotected because these standards are pretty weak to begin with. They're like industry standard. It's important for nations and localities to be able to set their own food safety standards, their own genetically modified engineering disclosure or labeling standards, etc. But that's the whole point of the corporate globalization in WTO. It's to centralize and homogenize all standards and make them adhere to industry-dominated standards organizations.
We cannot have access to market. It's very difficult. I mean, trade barriers and so on. We have to fight against multinationals. It's very difficult. We don't have the same strength.
This is going to make a big difference because this is a city that supposedly will be the greatest city for trade, and these people are rejecting it, so therefore it's a big message.
At least we spoke out. At least next time they come back, you know, they'll know that we're not going to sit here and say, oh, the WTO's in town, whoopity. We're going to come down here, we're going to protest it. Because if nobody says anything, nothing's going to change.
Most of you have never been called nigger, probably, but I've been called nigger a lot. And what I suspect is that the WTO has the plans to make a nigger out of a lot of people in this world. And you can't afford to take the chance that you'll be excluded. You're going to have to be willing to fight just like we have fought so long. And you got to be willing to believe you can win just like we have believed that we could win so long. If you can do this, then the new millennium will bring something of hope to the whole world instead of having everybody in a little pocket in their little area of the country hoping that they could overcome and not worried so much about the next person. The day has come where we have to worry about everybody else in the world because globalization in agriculture, globalization in trade, globalization in authority threatens all of us. And we have to act now because we don't have time to see where it's going. It's already gone too far.
I was born botanical, the soul of an animal. Deep beneath the layers, I sink my roots. No need for mechanical, I come strictly organical. When I need to feast, I look to the east. That's why I'm never scared of the beast. Even though they try to prey upon me, I'm protected by the one always greater than me. So now I reveal to thee, because you want to see the contour of my mystery, the strength of my arches, and the color of my conscience, and the way that I process my diction. Some fact, some fiction, some mystery, and some future fantasy. I'm the tree that holds the branches, the leaves that do the dances. My flowers, romantic. From Africa, transplanted transatlantic. In the heat of the sun, I bring shade for everyone. Like the beat on the one, I'm the skin on the drum, on the drum. I keep on living with the fullness of the one, like the heat of the sun of the skin on the drum. I keep on living with the fullness of the one, like the heat of the sun or the skin on the drum. But now I'm fully marinated, and now I'm ready for the fire. So you can fire one, fire two. See, I've been fully marinated, and now I'm ready for the fire. So you can fire one, fire two. See, I've been fully marinated, and now I'm ready for the fire. See, I'm beginning to perspire. From deep within to the skin, yo, the feminine and the masculine. The pieces of the puzzle. See me, reflections in the puddle. After the storm, the purple of the sky brings to mind another time when we resided below the waterline. Life was fine there, human, divine. But in the years following, evil men came, swallowing everything in sight. Some learned to run, some stayed to fight. I kneeled at the tomb of the soldier, said I would love to behold her. She tapped me on the shoulder. In time, all is revealed. Box of light, be unsealed. Now listen to me, son. Be like the skin on the drum. I keep on living with the fullness of the one, like the heat of the sun or the skin on the drum. I keep on living with the fullness of the one, like the heat of the sun or the skin on the drum. But now I'm fully marinated, and now I'm ready for the fire. So you can fire one, fire two. See, I've been fully marinated, and now I'm ready for the fire. So you can fire one, fire two. After the smoke clears and the flames have been gone, just as the morning dew are the teardrops of the night, my emotions are always there for you and will never leave you dry. Peace.